But tell me, just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to ride. We want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man. And we want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a party.
Welcome to another shit show on the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Dirty and Tank. What's going on, man?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Vito.
I'm doing well, sir.
Yeah. I mean, you're sitting in the chair.
Yeah, you know, I think I can't take Dirty's place, so I guess my nickname, I could be called Unlaundered. You know?
Unlaundered.
Okay. Right. Casually filthy.
Yeah, those are some big shoes, man.
Yeah,
big
they are.
shoes to fill.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, just in case some of you don't know, and why the fuck would you? Dirty was involved in a motorcycle accident. He and a club brother, and then one of Dirty's old lady were last weekend. And so Dirty, he's asked to sit this one out right now. He's banged up pretty good. His bike is banged up pretty good.
Yeah.
The other club brother's banged up pretty good. The old lady's banged up pretty good. It was an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, I saw a picture of his face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, they're going to heal. Their scars will heal.
Yep.
But fuck, man, those mental scars, as we know. You've been down?
Yes. Last time we were here, I told you I had 2 chicks on the bike, took a turn.
Yeah,
went
that's
down.
right.
And that was just nothing. Bike slid out, went underneath the car. We were fine. We were still able to walk home, but I was on a ride, I want to say 3 years ago, and it was Doc's son Jamie and his wife, and I can't remember the other guy, real short guy, big bike, but they had a construction cone, the big siloed cones.
Oh boy, yeah.
Coming underneath the bridge into Janesville. I had just passed them, so they had hit it. And then next thing I know, I'm home. I get a phone call. Hey, you got to get to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow. You know, I think I really take for granted that these things happen, not just to other people, but they happen to all of us. If it happens to one of us,
Indeed,
it happens to all of us.
Well, they stick with you for a while. Longhorn, you've been down.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely.
And it's hard not to replay that shit over and over in your head.
Yep, yeah.
You know, it gets big and around there, man. I went down in Florida just last year at the end of the year, and yeah, I replayed that fucker over and over and over again. You know, what could I have done different? But I don't know. It happens quick.
It does fast, really fast.
It happens
really
quick.
fast.
But yeah, so I guess welcome to the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much for coming in.
Honored.
You know, so everybody, I'd like to introduce to you Longhorn.
Yes, sir.
Longhorn lives loud and proud, let me tell you.
I'm just oh, man, you're bringing me back to the rodeo days, man.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to hear the crowd again. Thank
Right.
you.
But first things first, where are my manners? Let's see, you walked in, we were talking about cigars, and then Vito, you made a comment to me about my choice of cigars.
Yeah, last week I was like, okay, that's great. You know, one of the times I went to one of those places, right? I had asked them, like, hey, what do you guys do with all the stuff that's on the floor as they're rolling them? You go into it's like the size of a small gymnasium.
Yeah.
And it's nothing but like tables, like rows of tables, and just people rapping. And the other guy that was on a tour, some random guy I didn't know who he was, he's like, oh, that's what they put in the cigars and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, right?
It can't be.
So then Rocky Patel, when he was at the tasting room, I asked, like, hey, overruns oil? He's like, no. There's just the shorter pieces that we don't use because we like to put long filler and all that stuff. That made me feel a lot better, right? You know? But anyway, I saw you with it, and I'm like, no, I need to bring this guy a goddamn cigar.
Well, I mean, I enjoy probably 5-6 cigars a week.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're smoking, you know, $10-12
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Look
my
at
God.
That. Look at that.
Holy shit, what is this?
So I was given that one, and yeah, that's yours.
Well, brother, thank you very much, man.
Sir. No, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. So I guess my Cuban rejects are shit. No, they're not. They're not. That's a good cigar. You know, I mean, it's just the reason that they're rejects is because they didn't pass their standards for being wrapped.
Yep.
Something about them's wrong, and
Exactly.
you know, you hit them up pretty good.
Awesome.
Either one. Take.
I get this damn thing out of the box here.
You suggest that one, I'll go with that one. Awesome.
And I get cutters. I get everything.
Well, you do come equipped, that's for sure.
Yep.
Put that nasty little cigarette up and enjoy the real smoke.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, I almost need a cigar after pulling that thing out of the box.
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy that one. That's a good one.
Well, right on. Right on. We had somebody. Oh, Jesus.
See, hell, man. I'm sitting high on the horse right now, man.
Right?
I'm used to them cheapies as well, you know?
Oh no, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Watch out for these. They'll nip you.
Oh, don't stick your finger in there?
Well, no, what happens is you can actually get your little folds of skin caught if you're not thinking about it right. So
Gotcha, yeah.
I can tell this is the type of cigar you don't take the wrapper off right away.
Right.
No?
But you do when it starts to get near.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so I learned something today.
Well, right on, man.
As well you should every day, right?
Right. I know this is thrilling to listen to for those who are not watching. You're on Spotify and you're going, these fuckers, man, this is some, hey, you get what you paid for on the biker's lifestyle, you know, and it's costing you shit, so might as well
What am
get
I doing
shit.
here? Ah, gotcha.
Touch it. Yep.
Wow, look at that. All right.
Yeah, we're lighting cigars right now, if you can't hear. For those of you with misophonia, it sucks having to listen to that in your head.
All right, so we shut that off then. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Ooh, that's nice. Very nice.
I would have thought
Very
that
nice indeed,
I
man.
would
Well,
have thought
thank
that
you.
one would have been a lot stronger, but it's rather mellow. I like
Yep.
that. I like that.
Makes me wish I was drinking again. But as you both know, I quit drinking.
Yep.
And
Like juice.
Good man.
to to help me keep on my path, there's two club brothers that I have both instructed that if you ever hear about me drinking or see me take a drink, you have my permission to dot my I. And so we were at a friend of the club died last weekend. In fact, within 24 hours of the club having the accident. And she was a big benefactor of the club. She was a great woman. And she passed away. So we were at her visitation yesterday. And so they're passing around a real nice bottle of whiskey that was flavored. And of course, it comes down close to me, and they're all talking about it. And so I took my sunglasses off. The two club brothers were standing right next to each other. And I said, all right, you take one eye, there's the other, go. Because I was like, maybe I'll take a sip of it, and I was worth the black eye to me to do it.
Right. That's out of respect, and that's justified.
But this is what the club brother said to me. No, I won't do that. I will make sure that you never take a drink again. Because he was the one that my wife would call in the middle of the night and say, guess what? Tank fucking just fell over again, hit his head and passed out, and I'm not sure if he's going to wake up.
Right.
And I did that happen 3 times in 1 year. I hit it pretty good, but I didn't hit it good enough for my body, and so it is what it is, man.
Yep.
It is what it is.
But now that you said that, it's noted.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
when you agree, two more to look out for you.
2 more to look out for you. Well, thank you. That says a lot. I mean, it's brotherhood, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
You ride in a club.
Yes, sir.
You wear a patch.
Yes, sir.
You got brothers.
Yes,
but
sir.
I bet you have a lot of other people that you know that you would call brother as well.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Many.
Just to give you a little bit of history here now, Longhorn, it's one first question for you. How does a dazzling Texas urbanite like yourself...
Born and raised Texas.
No, sir.
We're about to kumbaya here. Oh my God! I was about to say. All right, go ahead. You ruined it now. Go ahead.
No, but you did some rodeo time.
Yes, sir. Riding bulls.
Is that how you got the name Longhorn, or is it like
yeah.
something with the ladies?
Well, we'll go with the second one. No, but from
Longhorn.
Can you be my intro?
Like a baby's arm, you know. Ladies, how are you?
I don't believe in tooting my own horn.
Well, sometimes you have to.
All right. True. But yeah, no, I rode bulls for many years, steer wrestled, a little bit of team pinning, shoot dogging, stuff, things of the such. I did judging, and I also did rodeo announcing.
Okay, let me back the fuck up. What brings a right man in the world to the point where you're going to wrestle a steer?
Okay, listen.
Okay, edify this northern boy. How the fuck do you wrestle a steer?
I am going to say this. He appears to be white to me. Okay. All right, and that is something that white people do quite often.
True.
Okay.
True.
Yes, in Texas, where I'm from, there are also black rodeo people.
But, yeah, yes, there are.
People,
Yes, there are.
Whatever.
Yes, many.
But more times than not, like white people, you guys discover like all the wild animals. You make friends with lions and tigers.
Right, we want to touch the pissed off alligators.
Right, like even people in Africa that see those are like, we're not fucking with that thing. You know what I mean? But you guys want to make friends and keep us. So I'm not surprised. You're white, and that's what you do. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Live in haunted houses for a period of time.
Listen. That is one of the many things I love about white people. Y'all guys discover all the danger first.
Right.
Write books about it, and then we
televise it.
Right, and then we all live in memory of your memory. Right, exactly. Right.
You remember Eddie Murphy with the comedy he was talking about the Amityville Horror. And
yes,
he's like
yes.
with the white people, and he said, if that was a black baby, he said, walk in, wow, this is a beautiful place. Get out. All right, we're gone. You know, so you might be onto something there.
Listen, I had to. I was visiting someone, and I forgot they lived by a cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so their house, their backyard, cornfield. Right.
Yep.
And it was late at night.
That's where we grow our white kids till they turn 18.
Listen.
Nice.
Children of the corn.
Children of the corn.
I have witnesses that would tell you this happened. I said, listen, can someone come outside with me? I'm like, what? I'm like, look, if a white kid walks out of that cornfield dressed as Abraham Lincoln in shorts, named Malachi.
I'm fucking out of here, man. Me too, brother. Me too. Me too.
Because I was just like, Right. And then I see the movie Signs too, right?
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, no, someone has to walk outside with me. I don't. No,
Yeah.
that's no too close to come.
All right, so getting back, you see, wrestling steers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is that?
Well, you got shoot dogging and you got steer wrestling. Steer wrestling is where you have a smaller shoot gate. You got about 300-400 pound steer that shoots out. You chase after it on your horse. You jump down onto it and take it down. By doing so,
fucked up this sounds.
Right. You're well, kind of like jumping out of an airplane. You're jumping off of
I've done that twice. So
well, you jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. I jumped off of a perfectly good horse.
Fuck.
You got me there. All right. Actually, right? Yeah. Semantics.
Yeah, exactly. And both of them are exhilarating. Very exhilarating and satisfying.
So is riding a motorcycle.
True. That's why we do what we do.
That's why we do what we
exactly.
do. So you rode bulls.
Yes, sir.
So you sat down on that motherfucker, snorting, jumping,
blowing snot and horns.
Blowing. I mean, and you jump on top of it.
Well, climb down on top.
You climb down on top of it, right, and then hope for the best.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, there is a lot. There is a lot of training and so forth.
I know.
Connect a few dots for me. How does one go from average person, living, breathing, whatever, to I'm going to jump on a horse or a bull?
Right. For many is a lifestyle.
Okay.
For many it is a lifestyle. Many are born into it. They're ranchers, farmers.
But yourself though, how did you get
so
there?
Forth. Grew up in the country. Grew up farm boy. Always I watched it on TV. Went to local county fairs, so forth, and just I think I want to try that one of these days.
Yeah.
And presented itself. Presented itself, so I said, "Oh, all right." I said, that's all I got to do is give this guy my money and strap onto this thing. Yeah, it's that easy. Oh, okay, all right, we'll try this. So why not?
fuck, that looks like a good idea. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Hold my beer. Watch this.
Right. Well, there you go. Right.
You know,
that's half of YouTube.
Oh yeah. And as funny as I showed up in a Harley Davidson shirt, you know. But anyway, gave the fella my money. They call me up, gear me up, put me in the chute, climb down on top of that big sucker, and they tie my hand down in there, and they said, "All right, you ready?" "Sure." I said, "Well, give a nod." "Well, okay."
Boom, gone.
Exactly. Exactly. So this 2,000-pound pissed off steak comes out of this gate. About 2 jumps in, it shoots me, launches me. I hit the ground, and I heard things in my head other than voices. I heard parts of my body snapping and popping and cracking that I didn't know that I had, and probably shouldn't have been popping and snapping. And I went out that week and spent $2,000 on gear so I can go back and do this again.
Wow.
And yes, I'm extremely biased. I know there is a lot of athletes that have earned the right in history books all the way around. But yes, I am very extremely biased as far as the participation trophies go. The sport of rodeo, you actually pay to get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
So, so when you're watching rodeo and you see them guys
Right.
getting their asses
Right.
kicked, stomped, trampled, put into traction.
Right.
I've been in machines for a month at a time after surgeries from the sport of rodeo. You actually have to pay to go through that, and if you don't win, you don't get a ring, you don't get a buckle, you don't get paid. You go home with a gear bag on your shoulder and broken pride.
So I'm assuming even like with sponsorship and stuff like that, like no one is like physically responsible for you.
No.
So that's all out of your pocket, all out of
Yes, sir.
physical therapy, doctors.
Everything.
Wow.
Yeah, so that not only are you risking your life, but your finances, your health. I just had a surgery just in May from years of doing such.
How do you
That has
get
caught up.
insurance? God, that has to be tough.
Yeah.
Like the risk analysis part of that, right?
Guy
For-
named Louie up in alley. Psst, hey, you need insurance? Come on over
Pretty
here.
much.
Yeah.
The Geico lizard, he's got a
guy-
little leather coat.
Yeah, it's his brother.
He's
Yeah.
a little shady, but he gets the job done. But yeah, it's not something that they really want to deal with, but they do. And your higher PBR, everybody has seen. PBR built for tough
Yeah.
on cable and
Right.
so forth.
Yeah, yeah.
They come to Madison and so forth.
Right.
In the bigger leagues as such, they do have what's called the Resist All Relief Fund.
Okay.
By donations, charity, this, that, and another. So they help injured cowboys while they are down. Yeah.
There we go. Get a little. I'm gonna say a name to you now, and I want to see how you react. I'm gonna say Lane Frost.
Oh man, one of the greatest in history.
One of the greatest.
One of the greatest and most iconic. There is the movie 8 Seconds.
And
Oh,
and
Luke Perry or something?
Yes,
Yeah,
Luke
Perry
Perry.
played
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
Okay.
That
But,
is a true story.
Okay,
An
all right.
actual true story.
But Tough hit him in 16 seconds.
yes, and
I just got goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
do you know the reference we're talking
I do.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he did actually do that. Yes,
and he was one of the pioneers. I think one of the
and still is.
and still is. But
Yeah.
with the flak jacket, like the flak jackets came around, I think
Yep.
because of what happened to him, as well as the fund. I think was also started.
Yes.
Largely by a lot of his influence to be able to help.
Yeah,
and take care of.
Cody actually came up with that vest
Mm-hmm.
after Lane's death, and then it was made and still is mandatory to wear that vest. Yeah, as in the movie, you seen the Cowboys just
Yep.
had on our flannel shirts, and that's all we rode in and set of chaps, you know. But after Lane got killed, the vest was invented to save other lives, and I can personally say it has saved my life as well.
Now, the last thing I've seen of a rodeo, I think they wear kind of like a hockey mask now with a cage in front or something like that.
Yes, it appears to be a hockey mask, but it's actually a specially designed bull riding helmet.
Okay.
Actually, my little brother, he rides as well.
Okay.
And he's always rode with one. I never did. Probably should have. I might have a few more marbles in there, but I chose not to. The helmet has been known to save lives, to reduce concussions and severe head injuries. The sport of rodeo has been on the fence about making that mandatory, but at the moment it's still a voluntary thing.
Listen, I'll say this. I don't care, and as far as kids too, like, I don't care what sport you're involved in, be it rodeo, badminton, whatever, all those guys are athletes.
Oh, yeah.
And
true.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, wow, about time that we get to see them treated as all the other athletes are treated, with protective gear and all that stuff, because I've known a few guys that are rodeo guys. One guy here is from Janesville, and that's a serious bang 'em up sport.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, you carry that lifelong with you.
You really do. You really do. In many ways.
Is that somebody's phone?
Still not sure. Wait. Apologies. That would be mine. I thought I turned
I was like,
down.
yeah.
I think that might be mine. I thought I turned it.
Yeah, it's okay. That's all right. I was like, what the hell, man? All right, we're gonna. I'll edit this shit out.
Okay.
All right. Just to let you know.
I still actually like to live my life every day as if I'm in that arena.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
There are so many aspects of that sport that apply to every day, to other folks, to a way of life.
That's a perfect segue.
That I like to carry with me. Faith, appreciation, dignity, pride, glory. Many different things that I do like to carry outside that I learned inside that arena that I like to carry outside that still apply. Sort of like, I'm not going to thump, but sort of like reading the Bible. You read this, you see that. Okay, well, how will this apply? And use that, for the greater good and for yourself and those around you as well. It's called the Cowboy way.
So how does that guy and the motorcycle world fall into each other?
Very, very, very much so alike. Back in the day, there was country songs and other songs written that said cowboys and bikers never got along. Well, I was a blessed man to live both lives. I was born into the bike world, entered into the rodeo world, but both are just alike. Same
okay, when you say you were born into it, tell that story.
My father was a patch holder and an MC.
Okay.
Very well known MC when I was born, and brought up into it. My uncles also were in other MCs as well, so I was surrounded by it. So I came up with it.
All right, awesome.
Yep.
First bike.
First bike was.
Did you look at my slip here? No, go with it, brother. This is great. This is why I put you in the seat.
All right. Hey, he's filling the spot, right?
Yeah,
right. Holding dirty up over
there you
here.
go. There you go.
Remember, I'm unlaundered. That's my nickname.
Nobody
unlaundered.
can replace dirty.
Right,
Exactly. Them are some huge shoes.
Casually filthy. That's it.
Right.
Oh hell, Honda Rebel. That was a Rebel. Yep. And I've owned pretty much every metric. In Indian and Norton.
Norton.
Yeah.
Those were screamers.
And unfortunately, I was a much younger kid and didn't really appreciate what I had. I look back now and I wish I had it.
Yeah.
But, and I got 3 now.
Okay.
So what do you ride now? Well, I mean, I know you're not riding because of your shoulder, but you got 3, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me about them.
79 Shovelhead Custom. That's my baby. That's my baby. I love that. Me and her we've been through a lot and a lot of love hate.
You got a name for her?
Camille.
Okay. Camille. All right.
Yes,
so there's Camille.
Yep. She's got the purple, blue, brown, copper undertone chameleon paint. Yep. So that's my baby, my '79 Shovelhead.
Okay.
And I got a '89 Springer Softail. Named Sally.
That's my favorite front end for a motorcycle.
Oh, definitely. That's my opinion. You can't be a Springer. I love it.
That is my favorite front end. Okay. Yep. And what else?
Got a 90th anniversary Geezer Glide.
Oh, okay.
Well, with rodeo injuries.
Yeah, I was just about to poke fun at you for a little bit for that. Yep, exactly.
I figured so. As soon as I mentioned that, you would have said something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But broken back and steel rods and hardware in my back. I just say, well, maybe I should get something, maybe a little bit softer than a 79 shovel head to ride.
So you're riding with a broken back too, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't it fun?
Oh, it's great, yeah.
It has its moments. I mean, it stretches me out, and the vibrations actually help my back. And
it does. Some days
until
it
I hit the
actually
railroad
does.
tracks, and then.
Yeah. No, some days it actually does make you feel better, and then other days you don't even. I'm not even going to throw my leg over that machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had those days too. So now you ride with a club, and how long have you been with these guys?
Going on 4 years.
Right on.
Yes, sir.
Right on. And that was over another state?
Yep, in Michigan.
In Michigan? Okay.
Yep.
Well, tell me about that.
My club's name's Wild Bunch.
Okay.
Our mother chapter is out of Detroit, Michigan. 46 years old. Yep.
Some
Yes,
history.
sir. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yep. We have 5 chapters over there. We have Ohio, we've had Kentucky, Tennessee, and very proud and happy to say we are our first chapter here in Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Right on.
Yes, we are new kids on the block, but coming from an established club. Me myself, I'm extremely proud, humbled, and happy to be a part of it being new and coming up to build the rapports and the bridges and get to know so many of the great people and men that I have over here. I just needed a change of pace, change of scenery, change of life. My president said, well, hey, come on over. Okay, all right, we'll do that. Yeah.
Right on.
So came on over here and joined my chapter over here, and I love it. I've got the best, and I'm sure we've all said it, and I'll say it for myself, but I do have the best group of brothers there are. We don't do anything alone. As a matter of fact, one of our mottos is where you see one, you see a bunch.
Yeah.
And that's truly what we live by. We do everything as a family, as a club. They say work, family, club. Well, there's work, and your club is your family. So for me, there is no separation there. And they believe that as well, and we live by that. If our niece is having a dance recital, well, guess what? There's a shit ton of rowdy-looking bikers out there cheering that little girl on. You know what I mean? Mom's sick and down. Well, guess what? The whole club goes over and sees mom. It's great. I got to plug them a little bit, but truth is truth.
No, go ahead. I was going to say he reminded me of a story, but
Now, you said being the new kids on the block, so would you say that you're hanging tough?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to do the pun, I caught that.
You have the right stuff?
You're damn right we do.
no, I was going to say, you're talking about, you got the brothers cheering everybody on, and
Yeah.
years ago, we were living out east, and I was running a biker bar as a general manager of a biker bar out there. And we had my daughter had come in, and she was like, well, Dad, we got this thing going on, and we're trying to raise money, and I can't remember, it was for a family or something that needed some help at her grade school. And she was lamenting to me that she was having a hard time getting people to be able to give. She had gone around the neighborhood, and one of the president of one of the biker clubs that came in, and he heard it, and he said, Tank, he said, tell you what, and he said, you let them know that there's going to be a bunch of bikers coming over to that school, and they're going to be given to that cause. And so he actually, he was a custodian. He was the head of the custodial department for the school systems. This one percenter was. Yep. And they called over, we let them know that the principal, that they were all going to come around. And it was, throughout the course of the school day, they must have had 100 bikers stop by. And it was a huge event for all the kids, and they're looking out the windows.
I'm sure they just loved it.
And just loved it. I mean, and it was just amazing how the community gave back and what bikers do for people.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, so from your kitty litter box, you have a perspective being that you were born into it and, whatever, right? So from your kitty litter box, what does the biker lifestyle looks like to you now, as opposed to what it looked like to you then?
Drastically different. Drastically different. I have memories as a little kid in the clubhouse. The dress, the demeanor, the attitudes, pretty much everything to me has changed a lot.
But when you look at the landscape and you look at the direction the lifestyle is going, right?
Right.
How different? Like, would you have expected this to go this course, or?
Can't really say that I had an expectation. I believe in evolving. Everything has to evolve and move forward. I guess my biggest complaint would be, as far as a whole, outside of clubs and other clubs, supporting other clubs, as a giant whole out there, the code of the road is gone. I've been broke down on the side of the road and had bikes just by the many just pass me up. I was raised, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that at all. And the camaraderie of it, and the of course the politics have way changed. And it's as far as the true biker code and lifestyle has changed drastically. Now it's all about your fancy leather coat, your pretty boots,
The catalog kings.
Exactly, the catalog kings and the credit card bikers. And I may offend some, but I really don't give a fuck. If you bought a leather vest and went to your first swap meet and just filled the fucking thing up, I'm gonna go, and we all have. It's judgmental. It may be wrong, but we've seen it. We all know. But it's just, I don't believe many are earning a title, or earning their place in our world.
Well, you're talking about a world where there's a world within the world, and
Right.
they collide.
They do.
Culturally.
They do.
And so, there are a lot of motorcycle enthusiasts out there.
And there are.
And that's great. They're the bread and butter of the industry.
Right. But they don't claim to be anything other than.
But we see a lot of it on the Bikers Lifestyle Facebook page. We'll get a lot of people. I'll never be in a club. Nobody can tell me what to do. And I couldn't possibly explain to them what it's like to be, because that's my experience.
Exactly.
And maybe that works for them, and that's fine too, because at the Bikers Lifestyle, we really, we got a standing joke. We always talk about Gold Wings. We fucking hate Gold Wings. We don't hate Hondas. We can't stand Gold Wings. Interesting story. I'm also an officer for ABATE, a area representative, regional rep rather, for Rock County here. And last weekend, it was the day after the accident, and I was just fired up. I really was, and I wasn't having any of it, and I was probably the wrong guy to be hosting a meeting at that point in time. And I got the people from ABATE, and we're sitting out on, where are we going? Stables in Orfordville. Thank you, Lori. You're awesome. Stables in Orfordville. You're going to go and have a beer and a bite to eat. She's got great food. Indeed. Yeah, we all know Stables, right? Yep. And so I got on this tirade with all the members, and then just sat down and basically had said my piece, and they're all kind of a little shocked. And in walks a representative from ABATE, real nice guy, Bill Kingsley. He's he does the Share the Road program for ABATE of Wisconsin, which is they're great. They really look out for biker rights, and and he caught me at a bad time. And I was a little feisty with him because I still had it in my system, and it's a piston thickener. It was all fresh. And then I told him, and I said, well, God damn it, here at the Bikers, so we just hate, Gold Wings. And I went on a little bit of a tirade on that, and then he stopped and looked at me and he said, I ride a Gold Wing. And he said, I ride a Gold Wing, but he said, Tank, I know what you're talking about. Some of those owners are kind of crazy.
Yep.
And so, Bill, I apologize if I was a little brusque with you, because I gave him the link and said he might very well be watching this podcast. I meant nothing by it, brother. If you like the Gold Wing, that's cool. I can't stand them. But you seem to be a real decent dude, and you do a lot for ABATE, so thanks for all you do, man.
That's all matters. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. But,
I
mean, there's something fresh. You were just talking about the differences with club world, bikers. Now, that's a huge, big world, right?
It is.
Mean, all of us bikers together, but there's been some shit going on around where bikers have been getting run off the road.
Yeah.
And yesterday, this happened to me last night on the way home when I left you. And I got out, and went home, got on the scoot, and I'm about 100 yards from my house, right on 81. I'm just slowing down, and a fucking car on the other side of the road. I don't know if he saw me. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, half his car was over in my lane coming at me.
Why?
And I had to get way over to the side, almost went down
Why
into the ditch.
Why do you think there's an uptick in these things right now?
I don't
Because
know.
2 years ago, no. I mean, there were still motorcycle accidents.
Right. Always has been.
Last summer, okay, motorcycle accidents.
Right.
But there is like an uptick in this. Like, what the hell?
There is. Just in the past couple months, lost a few friends and brothers in Michigan to the same thing.
Yeah, you did. Guy got T-boned.
And, and just a young guy too. Great man, great guy. That's how it goes. Good die young, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
God, I wish that wasn't the case, but you're right.
Yeah,
they seem to.
It's cliche, but unfortunately, it seems to be true. And I had the same thing happen. You just had yesterday, the day after. Day after my brother was killed on his bike. We spent all night at the hospital with his fiance and so forth. And once we knew she was all right, we all kind of dispersed, made sure everything was all right, and try to get a nap in to handle business afterwards. And so we go to meet up, and sure enough, this gal didn't want to wait for the mail carrier, and runs right into my lane. My brother just got killed that night, and here I'm on the way to take care of family business and so forth, and this chick, mail carrier's in her way, slowing up her day, so it does the same thing, comes right at me. Man, it blows your mind, and like you're saying, your life flashes before your eyes.
It happens quick.
Fast.
It happens real fast in a blink of an eye.
Because people are too big in a hurry. Their day is more important than your day, and they don't want to wait that extra 10 seconds to a minute to let us motorcycle riders by or do what we need to do. Well, no, we're impeding on them.
Right.
It's selfish. It's truly, truly selfish, and threatens our lives and takes our lives.
I made that post on Facebook last week. That's actually made its traction around the country from some of the shares that I've gotten back from people. And I said exactly what you were saying right there. Yeah. Is that when you see that large group of motorcycles together, we're out riding. We're riding for a cause.
Right.
We're giving money back to a charity. We're helping a family out. We're putting money together so we can buy food, so we can feed the homeless.
Yep.
The one where our brothers went down. We're raising money for a domestic survivor abuse center. Right. So the people that had domestic abuse, it's the Survivor Center. Right. We've been raising money for them for 10 years. And so, when you see that group of motorcycles, you're right. Why reduce your life, somebody else's life, down to a cycle of a fucking stoplight that it takes for the group to get through?
If that long.
If that long. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's Vito, I mean, what do you got to say about, what do you have?
I'm going to share a story that, by just the grace of the universe, just went well. So, ex of mine, she just got in a Fat Boy, and
you're talking about the biker, you? No, I had to, man.
And so we're tooling down Main Street, and we're tooling down Main Street, and one of the streets, a car comes down the hill, stops. And I don't necessarily watch the car. I watch the rims.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And then.
And their eyes.
Yeah.
Their head and their eyes.
All of a sudden I see those rims spinning to come out. And then brand new rider, She sees it, and she overcorrects. Nothing happens, but I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
So what
so
if?
we pull up to the next lights. I actually pull right up to the guy, right? Knock on his window, and he rolls it down. I'm like, hey, how's it going? He was like, I am so sorry. I'm like, no, man, it's cool. You know, like, hey, you know, nothing happened, you know. I said, but it really looked like you were coming out. And he was like, yeah, I know. His wife is in the car. I'm like, listen, I love my girlfriend as much as you love your wife, you
Exactly.
know. And it's really important that both of us make it home and,
Yep.
you know, to get on their nerves and have sex with them on the couch on Sundays and, you know, stuff like that.
Hopefully learn from it.
Right, exactly. And he was like, you know what? You're right. And that was it. And I thought that was super cool.
Oh, exactly.
I thought that was super cool. And, you know, I don't want to label anyone, but, you know, it just seemed like a suburban housewife, house couple thing.
Right.
Nice Volvo car, you know, whatever. And, yeah. So some people are like, they're unaware and they're aware at the same time. And then they're so distracted by phone and this and that, whatever. And I'm wondering if people are just becoming more and more distracted by that next ding or message on their phone.
Oh, very much
and,
so.
You know, where they're just not paying attention to the roads anymore.
Oh, they got a computer screen in their cars, for fuck's sake, with cameras in the back and all sorts of doodads. And I don't know, man. That's, you know, that's why I've been reluctant to ever put any sort of music on my bike. Because to me, the only music I want to hear is potato, 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 potato.
Yep.
Exactly.
And the roar of my pipes, and I want to hear my machine.
Yes.
Because you know, I built that motor, god damn it.
Yep.
You know, I put every torque on that motherfucker, and
Yep.
and so I want to hear her snort, and I want to know what's going on with her, and I can tell you right when there's a problem where it is, and I need to hear that.
Yep, exactly.
So I think we're more aware of our surroundings
Yep.
on a motorcycle.
Question. So with where you see the culture going, what is it you do or your club does to make sure that you guys are still holding on to and backboning those hardcore values of family, brotherhood, togetherness, you know, whatever? Like, what is it that you're doing that you're still solidifying that amongst the, like, in the culture itself?
We do try to hold true as possible to the old school values, plain and simple.
Which are?
Brotherhood, unity, community. We build our bridges, we build our rapport with our community, with our fellow clubs. We do our charity runs as well. Pretty much same thing everybody else does, and pretty proud to say that we've been complimented for being new, and community and other clubs seeing us, learning us, getting to know us, that we have been complimented on our unity. And we do pride on that. You know, not that we're made to. It's what we feel and it's what we do. You know, it's not being told to, you have to. It's we got the right group. And
How do you pass that torch to the younger guys?
example?
Okay.
Example. You know, plain and simple example. Just live and lead by example. You know, if you want to see a change, be the change. You know, do right. You know,
Amen to that, man.
and that's age old, really, though. You know, but sometimes it's got to be brought back up and say, hey, you know, that's what we need to do. You know,
Yes.
let's do this.
It's an old adage that says, nothing is easier than saying the words.
Right.
Nothing is harder than living them day to day.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I meet more people in the biker world that do more of the latter than the former.
Right.
You know, in the club world, and you know, I want to say true bikers, because I don't want to go down that road and piss
Right.
more people off that we already piss off on the Bikers Lifestyle podcast. But you know, bikers seem to be very deliberate.
Yeah.
You know, when you meet a true brother from the road, because they'll say what they mean what they say.
Exactly.
And also, the men that I know aren't the type of pussies to say something and then walk away like a pussy.
Right.
They're going to say their piece, they're going to look in the eye and then tell it to you, and then they're going to wait to see how you react to it and
Go from there.
go from there.
Yep.
You know, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
You know, would you agree?
100%. 100%.
I just try to walk through this world with pride and dignity, and most of all, respect. You're going to get so much further anywhere and anything that you do with respect. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, we live the life that we live, and every now and then you get put in a corner, you got to come out of that thing. But that's you know, only if you have to. You know, I would much rather go, hey, you know, we can get over that. You know, what we got to do to fix this. You know,
I found every corner I've been in, I fucking put myself there.
Generally,
you know what I mean?
Generally, yes.
Generally, yes.
You know, but you got your circumstances.
There,
you know,
sometimes you are a victim of circumstance,
right.
sure.
But yeah, you know, it's this world was built on respect and unity. You know, we got to keep that. We got to keep that. You know, walk tall, walk proud. You know, and walk and talk with respect. You know, you get so much further with it. You know, and I take pride in that. You know, I don't want a rap. I don't want a bad rap. You know, I want to be that guy that they hear that name, they go, hey, all right, yeah. You know, not the, oh, fuck. You know, oh, that guy.
What'd you say to me earlier? You said, well, I'm an asshole, but I'm not.
Not that kind of asshole.
Not that kind of an asshole.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's really the truth.
All right, question. Do you think it's time for the motorcycle culture to integrate, for clubs to integrate? Do you think that's overdue, or do you think there's still? Do you still think there is?
You haven't met his club, have you?
No.
We're already kind of integrated. So.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are
Okay.
actually.
All right. Okay.
All makes and models, man, and then
exactly. We
bikes and people.
exactly. Yeah. We are a mixed club.
Okay.
Yeah, our club is a mixed club.
And then
Good question.
How do other clubs see you guys as being a mixed club who may not be a mixed club?
Well, of course, back in the day that was an issue, but this ain't the '60s anymore.
Right. Okay.
So nowadays, actually, we are received rather well.
Okay.
And we're thankful for that. You know, but excuse me. Yeah, we hold up to that. We take pride in that. You know, and if one brother is not welcome because of his skin color or whatever it is, then none of us are welcome.
Right.
That's how we see it. That's how we feel about it.
So
you
you're
know?
judging the man first. You're judging the character
Exactly.
first. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
The man, himself, and his heart, and his integrity and dignity first.
Perfect.
Not his skin color.
Yeah, I mean,
We all bleed the same.
I believe people can be judged assholes without having to bring race-colored creed,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
association, anything else. Just, I mean, you're an asshole on your own.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And you know, with me, I don't want to say I can tell, but fucking I can tell. Goddammit, you know.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you for the first time. You know, we were meeting at some club event when you guys were first coming in, and I was a new patch holder at that point in time.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I just looked at you and I was like, you know, we hit it off right from the start. And I said, that's a motherfucker I can get to know, I think. And
I'm glad we have.
yeah,
I've met so many great people since moving over here just a little over a year ago. I've said it several times, and I mean it when I say it, that I've been truly blessed to meet the people that I have and to have built the personal rapport with many and build them bridges. And
you were over here before you moved here, though.
Yeah. When I was in my Michigan chapter,
Yes.
we would come over here for events, or I'd come over for a visit.
Because that's when I first met you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, but moving over here and calling Janesville home, planting roots. All the clubs that I've had the honor of being around, great people. They've been open, welcoming, and as it should be. You know, this is what we're all in this together. You know, and I've been lucky enough to build a rapport with at least one, if not a couple guys from each of those clubs. You know, and I'm happy about that. You know, and I would say blessed. So.
Yeah, I would say so too, man. I definitely say so. It's been a blessed life so far. You know? Definitely. I know I got starting to listen to whatever that was that passed by us. That couldn't have been street legal. Huh?
Sounded pretty tough.
It sure did, didn't it, man? But so you just recently got back. You had to cage it because of your shoulder surgery. But you and a bunch of your brothers and some other guys, went down to Georgia,
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, and I see this picture. Was that Kentucky? Was that where that was at? Where you guys rented a log cabin, or was that in Tennessee?
Oh yeah. That was in Tennessee. We rented a whole entire old West Town.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah.
So he's out there. I see this picture in a Jed Clampett hat.
Yeah.
He's got a shotgun in his hand, and he's wearing a fucking Union suit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is he a fucking Hatfield? Is he a McCoy? You know? Is there going to be some feud? You know,
Yeah.
fuck, we're bringing him on the show pretty soon. Crying all out. I don't got the energy for that. But do you mind if I put that picture and superimpose it up over on
Oh yeah,
the
go
YouTube?
ahead, by all means.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because I think it's a great picture, man.
Right.
There's some great pictures of you. It looked like
Yeah.
you guys had a good time.
Oh, we had a fantastic time. You know, like you said, we do everything together. It took us a year almost a year, you know, to plan it. It's this gal inherited actually a old town from her great uncle down the line, and it's got a saloon, it's got a little church house, cabins, all kinds of stuff. It is really awesome. I highly. It's called Possum Trot. Possum Trot.
Possum Trot?
Possum Trot. Check it out on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's an awesome deal. Really great place. And we all went down there. We had members from each chapter, from all of our chapters, Michigan, Ohio, and so forth. We all came together up here in the north. We all gathered up together and rode down together. Spent the week together. And had a great time, man.
It looks like you guys had a good time.
Yeah, all the way around. You know, we had fellowship, camaraderie, and we fucked shit up. You know,
How was it riding out there?
Do what we do, man. The scenery is beautiful. Scenery is really beautiful. It's not quite in the mountains. It's more or less the foothills.
Okay, all right.
But so I mean, you're not really all that high up. But scenery was fantastic. Like Tank said, unfortunately, I had to cage it. And for I think once in my life, at one moment, I was like, I'm really glad I'm not riding right now because man, them guys got hit with some bad rain.
Did they?
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, green sky, sideways rain, man.
Well,
I'm like
Tennessee.
And when we pulled over, man, I told my president, I said, I'll tell you what, this is one time I'm glad I'm not. I said, I don't know how the hell you guys held that shit up. I said, because I was driving a van, and man, it had me all over the place, and I can't see my guys up ahead of me, and I'm like, fuck, man, I hope they're all right, you know. And of course, we all got our eyes peeled, you know. But we got some tough son of a bitches, and they weathered the fucking storm,
Yeah.
you know. But that's what we got to deal with, living the life that we live, right?
Now, you had a friend of mine along the way, too. He's a nice guy from a black club. Shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My little brother Shorty.
Little brother Shorty.
Yep.
I've known Shorty for a while. He's a good man.
Oh, definitely.
He's short, but his heart is bigger than you.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh yeah. He does everything with us, really. Everything and anything that we got going on, he's right there with us. You know, and yeah, that man's got my heart. That's definitely my little
too.
brother, man.
Me
Yeah,
too.
He's
been over my house, you know. He's used my pool, you know.
Oh yeah. Yep. He knows everything.
Those my kids, you know.
Yeah, he knows just about everybody
Yeah. Well, he's a guy.
in any direction,
He sure
any
does.
and all directions, and I love him. I love him to death.
Yeah,
He,
come on, baby. Can't we all just get along?
Yeah,
baby?
exactly.
That was
You know.
my Shorty impression right there.
Yeah,
man.
right. Can't we all just get
Can't we all just get along, baby? Come on.
Yeah, no, we've had our brotherly arguments. He's been mad at me. I've been mad at him. But hey, what do siblings do?
Exactly.
What do siblings do? They
Fight,
argue, right?
and then we break bread.
Exactly. And it don't matter if it's the same color patch, no patch, or not. If I call you brother, I mean you're my brother.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do siblings do?
Yep.
You're gonna disagree. But by God, just like you said, you get over it. And the end of the day, you break bread, and you still love each other.
Now, speaking of heart, how, from your perspective, your club, and your experiences, how have you seen the culture and people, younger men you've brought in, how have you seen that change them and transition them into people of heart and people of more solid character and so on and so forth?
Oh yeah, perfect example. One of my younger brothers was very quiet, very quiet, very reserved. You know who? who I'm
Yep,
gonna
I sure
speak
do.
of, you know. And man, I've seen something in him. Just seen a lot in this guy, even though he was very quiet, very reserved. To
Oh, he's always
himself.
standing off in the back and
Oh yeah, he makes people nervous.
lurking
Yep.
around.
Always
you know.
watching. He's always watching.
Always watching.
He's a hawk. His head's on a
He
swivel.
sticks with that 80-20 rule pretty good, you know.
Oh, definitely.
Talk 20% of the time.
Yep. And full of knowledge. My God, full of knowledge. But yeah, I took a chance with him, and when I met him, and he just came around, hung, your typical
Hanging around.
yeah,
Yeah.
joining on things, whatnot, so forth, and then he kind of brought it up, and I jumped on the opportunity to bring him to the table, and I'm damn glad I did. More so for him. Yes, we gained an amazing brother, and man into our club, but the past year or so of him being in, have watched him progress in so many different ways, to where he expresses more, shows more, just all the way around, and he is a very good brother. He does his best at everything. He'll give his all to everything.
He rides hard.
Ah, man, don't ride in a vehicle with him. Don't ride. You've seen him ride.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll do a $120 all day long. Don't get in the truck with him if
Or is he a granny, is he? No.
my grandmother fucks faster than he does. She's been dead for 10 years.
Well, he just
He
didn't.
ain't in no big hurry in a cage, man. But you get that kid on a bike, man. He's a $120 all day.
But he just told me he rode the bike he's on right now. He just rode it until it vibrated loose.
Pretty much, yeah.
He said pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not talking nuts and bolts here. We're talking about the shit inside. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
He's rattling that bike apart.
Yeah.
He's rattling it apart
Yeah.
because he's riding it.
Because he's riding
He's
it,
riding
yeah.
it, and when he's got the opportunity, he's riding it hard.
But I tell you what, you take one look at him, and you stick a friggin' polo shirt and some chinos on him, and put
Yeah.
him at a computer, and you think you got some cellar dweller.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've got mad respect for him.
Oh,
I really do. You know,
He's I call him an enigma.
Yep.
Would you not agree?
Yeah.
You've known
Yep.
him for a while.
And for you, that has to feel good. That okay, cool. I am passing this torch to someone that's going to carry this out now.
Definitely. He does his best to uphold my wild side, and I had to tell him, there's going to come a time where I can't get that wild, so you can't keep testing me. I said, so you're going to be the one that has to do it. He's like, all right. But he's a magnificent brother. He really is, and I've been humbled and blessed when he himself told me, thank you. You've helped me become the man that I am.
that's cool.
Never in my life did I think I would hear something like that. And I'm a father of two,
Right.
or three, sorry. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, it was humbling, almost where I didn't know how to respond to that, except with great pride and joy that he is getting where he wants to be and flourishing more, in so many ways and aspects. He's an old soul, very old soul.
Yeah, it's not biker related, but I remember I had been a semi-pro football coach for a while,
Right on.
and pretty well respected defensive coordinator and whatnot.
Right.
And you see these guys, they come in, they're just greener than snot, and then you send them through their paces. They earn their stripes, and then when you see them stand alone, right, and
Yes.
brave the wind and meet the challenge head on, right? It fills you up with a great sense of pride that, hey, you know what? Okay, I may have done that right,
Right.
And then now I've gotten to see guys go on in their own personal lives and do those things, whatever.
Yeah.
So same thing with that kid. He's going to do that same thing.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
And that ripple effect is so huge because this is something that we had said before about biker doing.
Yeah.
Doing the part, living the part,
Exactly.
right?
I actually hope he does it better than I did.
There you go. Yep.
I hope he does it better than I did.
Yep. There you go.
So that way when he passes it down, it just gets better and better and better and better. I'm not that prideful. I'll give you what I got to give, but I hope like hell if you learn from it, you do it better than I did.
Right? Yeah. That's all you can hope for, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
You know, but you saw something in him, maybe a little more than he saw in himself. It sounds like.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
And he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Well,
is.
that's good, man. You know, that's what brotherhood is all about.
Yep.
We get a lot of it. We'll talk about that one sec. But
Yeah. Speaking of,
and there
but-
we go again. All right. So we're going to bring it back in again, just if we could. We had a little bit of technical. So go ahead, Vito. I'm sorry about that. Speaking of,
we were talking about the bike, the elderly man bike that you have, the keep still.
My geezer
Yep,
glide.
your geezer
My geezer
glide, yeah.
glide, as I call it.
Hey, listen, I never thought I would either, but like my Heritage, I love that bike.
Oh yeah.
I love my Heritage. I love everything I did to it. And then until I start riding another bike, then it's just like, oh, okay, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I'm getting,
Time
and
is not our friend.
it sure is not. It sure is not. And that particular bike, now that I've like ridden another bike, whatever, I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna just turn it into a solo seater. It's just,
Right.
I'm gonna just take it out once in a while and be cool. Probably a lot like your Shovelhead, your 79
Oh, yeah,
Shovelhead,
exactly.
right? Exactly, right? Because you get on those older bikes, everything's loose and it's like
Yeah.
effortless to move things around. Then you get on one of these newer bikes where everything's tighter
Yeah.
and really whatever. And just to ride one to the other, it's like I'm riding something completely
Night and day.
Yeah,
Night and day.
like I have to go
Night
around
and
the
day.
block a little bit just to get my lean right, whatever. And yeah, God bless them all, because I tell you what, I don't know if I'd be my person without it.
Oh, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
would. That's my shovelhead for me. Yeah.
Yep.
it's kind of funny because you talk about that about 2 weeks ago. Chop and I were out, and I'm on I've got a '94 Softail Heritage Classic, Evo, motor's a little built up,
Yep.
and she snorts and breathes and shakes and shudders and barks,
And you love every
and I
minute.
love every minute.
Probably
of
the
it.
best sounding motorcycle.
And
the Evo.
and you, and you know and you know you're riding a fucking Harley Davidson
For a
right?
newer
So-
motor, yes.
For
Yes.
a newer motor, yeah, you fucking shovelhead guys, man.
Exactly.
Panhead knuckle guys are going, you fucking young whippersnapper,
Right,
with your new shovel heads out
Right,
there.
right.
But no. But Brother Chop, I was having a little problems with mine, so he wanted to jump on my bike and see what it was doing, so he can kind of feel it out himself. So,
Yeah.
he jumps back on a '94 Softail, which is a smaller bike. A chick's bike, as Dirty would say. Motherfucking son of a- Anyway, yeah, that was in another episode.
Yeah.
But I get on his, which is I think it's an 18, ultra classic, stage 4. I mean, but it's set up for him.
Yeah.
And Chop's got size 12 feet. Well, Brother Tank has size 17 feet. And Brother Tanks was having a hard time just getting his feet out from underneath shit, just to be able to use the brakes and to to shift the motherfucker, And so, but I get onto this Cadillac, which is what it was. And beautiful. My God, I mean, you're right. It was like a whole other experience. But he got back on my bike again, and we got to where we were going, and we traded bikes back up again. And he said, that's what I missed. He said, I kind of missed that about a motorcycle. He said, because the newer ones, they sound like a Harley, but where you're sitting and when you're riding them, they don't sound like a Harley.
No. Oh man, So my bike's Tina Turner.
Right
is,
on.
And
I call mine Booger
and
because she snorts and breathes snot.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And Tina Turner and Ashley's the Heritage. And what's so the feeling is so different.
Oh, exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
You get on one, you're like, all right, I'm tooling around, and whatever. And then the other one is like, you're the fucking devil, right? And it's like,
Yep.
but yeah, if there was one thing I could say, I wish they sounded like those carbureted motors.
Oh, yeah.
I wish. Yeah, and that's the only thing I really miss is that. So
Two completely different animals now. When I ride my shovelhead, she's still a 4-speed ratchet top kickstart. And I'm stepping back in time.
Bitch with a temperament.
Oh man, I don't even want to go there yet. But yeah, I get on her, and I'm stepping back into time. You know, when Harley was a machine.
Right.
You know, when you came up to an intersection, like you mentioned earlier, the ground's rumbling. All you hear is thump,
Yep.
thump, thump, thump,
Oh,
thump.
fuck, I got to ride to the right-hand side, everybody. Nobody
yeah.
wants me to ride on the left because nobody wants to be on the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
those
right,
fishtails
you
on
know.
Ashley. Whoo! Yeah, no, nobody wants to. No,
yeah,
dude, I'm not
It
behind
just
you.
hurts your ears, you know. But I don't know. It's all behind me as I'm going along, so I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
I give a fuck about my brother's ears, but they do it to me too. So,
Right,
you know.
exactly. Give as you get.
You get what you get. Yeah.
The best is and Dirty can speak up to this too. Took him and Sage to Madison and Monona Terrace, you know, underpass, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, maybe an eighth of a mile or whatever. But if it's clean, you can just go right through it. And him and I are going through it. I don't know if he'd ever been through it before at that time. And I just take off. And then here he is. And yeah, you know, it puts a smile on your face a little
definitely.
bit. Yeah, it
Definitely.
definitely does. It definitely does.
I know he misses his Dyna, his Dirtbag Express.
Yep. And that's what it was. That's what it was. Yep.
Yeah, the Dyna, the Dirtbag Express. That's getting chopped out right now. Some guy in a club ended up picking it up, and he's making it into a chopper.
Nice,
So
nice.
one of my other club brothers had that, you know, for a while. But
Do people look at you differently when you're on one bike or the other?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
Yep. On
Definitely.
Ashley, it's like
Definitely.
more outlawish. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
And the other one, oh, nice bike, nice. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. And the other one, no one really speaks to you. Like, oh, hey,
Yeah, they give you that sideways glance,
Right.
you know, clutch the purse a little bit
right,
more.
you're that.
they roll up windows in traffic in the hot days. They don't have air conditioning. They're fucking rolling their window up next to me.
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm nice, I'll look over and say, "It's going to get loud here pretty soon. You might want to."
Right. You know, the dad in me felt bad, but the biker in me kind of had to laugh. You know how much shovelheads make babies cry. Women clutch their purses, you know.
So, same story with Dirty, where we parked our bikes right off the Capitol Square. You know, we're walking around looking at a few places, whatever. But you're parking motorcycles where typically there ain't motorcycles there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we kind of make our own spaces,
Right.
don't we?
And listen, I'm going to say this with a straight face. There is nothing that brings me more joy as people are like outside and it's quiet and they're eating their lunch or having their cigar, and you start that bike up and you can just hear, "Ah!" and people are jumping. Listen, I could do that 12 times and still laugh 12 times every time I do it. Yeah.
Every single time.
Every single time.
My neighbors got some dogs that bark when I start the bike up, and well, she and we don't get along. When years ago, her kid broke into my house, I proved it, and well, ever since then, I've been the devil, I guess, to her.
Right.
Yeah, it probably didn't help that I told her to shut the fuck up one time, but that's okay. It's neither here nor there.
Yep. Right.
So, you know, putting that motor back together again this year and going through all the trials that I did to try to finally dial it all in, you know, it was a basket case. Yeah, I took a little glee, and every time I got her up and barking, you know what I mean?
Whoa.
I don't want to be that asshole, but, you know, it's nice to hear the dogs bark every now and then, and reminder that I'm there, you know. I don't know, man. I don't want to come across like an asshole, but, well, I guess I'm an asshole sometimes.
How's the whole pandemic and COVID and things being shut down, whatever? How's that affected your riding this season?
Well, having the surgery really screwed me. You know, not being able to fully ride.
Yeah, that's effective.
The surgery
Right.
has screwed me more than COVID did. But of course, like all of us, you know, not having as many events go on and so forth. Yeah, me personally, my surgery screwed me more than COVID did. Because had I not had my surgery, then I'd be fucking riding. You know.
Here's something I found.
Don't tell me I can't cross the border. Don't tell me I can't ride with my buddies,
Right.
or my pals, my brothers, anybody. We're going to do what the fuck we're going to do.
More and more guys are taking longer trips elsewhere.
Yes.
And just,
Yeah, actually.
yeah. And so I'm like, well,
finding places that are open where they can go to visit.
Right.
Yeah.
And even last night, if you guys are like, hey, you know, we're planning this trip, you know, if you're not doing anything, maybe you could, you know, figure it out and come along with, you know, whatever. I'm like, yeah, you know, let me, you know, roll the marbles around and see, you know, whatever. And about time, unfortunately it took this.
Right.
But I haven't been asked and or planned more trips since the whole COVID thing's happened.
Huh.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
I just,
There you go.
it
It's just one of those things, some of those weird foibles or,
Right.
Yep.
happenstances that happen.
Yep.
If you think about it with the COVID, though, and I don't want to get into that because we all know, what's going on, but think about it right now, because at the point in time we're doing this, Sturgis is just getting up and running.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got, 300,000 people who are all together in close proximity. I bet
Yep.
there's not a lot of social distancing. We know how bikers are. There's probably not a lot of mask wearing going on. So, like it or not, we have a very large biological experiment going on right now, and
Yep.
I'm curious to
Definitely.
see how that's going to turn out.
Yep. Me too.
And I hope that we get the truth of how that turns out,
Right.
and not something politicized. And I just want to leave it at that before we get any further into it, because we know that it's made it difficult in America right now, I think.
All the way
And
around.
it's just put things strained,
Yep.
and there's no sense getting further into it.
Yeah.
But fuck, man, it's been a hell of a ride. You're right, it's been a hell of a season. It's been like shortened.
Oh,
It seems,
yeah.
just because of events and stuff. And,
Yep.
we've seen attendance down
Yep.
at events.
Yeah. Bike nights aren't the same.
Bike nights have been canceled.
Yeah.
Outright.
Yep.
And there's a lot of
Outright.
people worried about public opinion.
Yep.
Things like that. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Roll with the punches and make the best of it.
That's all you can do. I
Yep.
mean, that's what's what bikers do. I guess that's what people do. And we tend to default to that's what bikers do, but we have to understand that. Well, what we're asking, I think, for me, what we're asking other people to understand is that we're bikers, but we're also human beings.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We have kids, we have grandkids, we have girlfriends, we have grandmothers, we have lives. And my mom said this to me a long time ago. My mom did. Remember talking to her about life and shit, and how it's real tough, and she always looks so strong and composed, and she's my mom's like the Viking woman with the the spear in her hat and with the horned head. I mean, she's just she's a tough woman. She's strong. But I remember her looking me dead in the face, and she said, "Oh, honey," she said, "we're all 12 years old behind our eyes."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's true.
Oh, it is.
It really is.
It is. I'm, if I can get my body and my mind at somewhere close
Yep.
to the same level, I'd be doing all right. Because like in my mind, I'm still fucking 22, but my 45-year-old body goes, dude, no, you're not. If I can get that somewhere close, yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm turning 58 on Thursday.
Can you believe that? Just looking at him, I don't see 58.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That's-
Still a spring chicken, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just from, I think, positive living.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say good living, because I try to find all the ways to do it bad before
Yeah.
I learn how to do it good. But no, I think it's just from staying positive, from having good people around
Oh
you.
yeah. Definitely.
And keeping a positive attitude.
Right. Definitely.
And life is 90%. 10% what happens to you. 90% how you react.
Exactly. How you turn it around.
Yep.
How you turn it around, how you look at it.
Learn from it and use it.
Yeah, we've all been through adversity. I mean, Brother O's sitting over there watching the whole thing. He was just on the last podcast, bearing his soul, weren't you, brother? And that man's seen a lot of adversity too. You've seen a lot of adversity. You've seen a lot of adversity.
Yes,
but
sir.
we all have managed to turn it around and keep it going, and find a better attitude.
Yeah. Keep it going.
Do you think we'll ever see electric bikes in clubs?
I hope like hell not.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Okay. Here's the only reason why I asked. So 2 weeks ago, I was in Wyoming. I was in Cheyenne, and visiting some folks, and I had some downtime, so I skipped over to Loveland. About a 35-minute straight shot
Yeah.
on the highway. Yep. And they had an electric bike there at the dealership. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool, whatever. And like, well, we can get it outside for you if you want. I'm like, yeah, let's do it, right? And so I'm on it. First of all, if anyone knows what a live wire looks like,
Yeah.
me sitting on it, I look like a circus bear.
I was going to say, I meant like a bear on a mini bike.
Yeah,
Instead of circus
yeah,
bear.
and I'm forward. I'm on my shoulders pretty hard, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool, and she was like, just give it a little bit and just get used to that, because electric goes just like that, right? But I'm looking at this bike, and it's a little it's like a little screen, looks like a iPhone, just right there. Your gauges and everything are in that, you know, whatnot. Doesn't make noise, but I hit it, and I'm like, oh, okay, this thing's on. Right? So,
Right? That's what I would be thinking too, man.
Right.
so listen,
I'm really curious about this.
the woman that was there, you know, kind of good looking, so I don't want to make myself look like a complete, you know, ass of myself, all right? So I'm going around a parking lot, and I'm like, wow, okay, I can respect the science. I can respect, you know, whatever.
Right. Ingenuity and
Right.
everything.
And then I'm thinking, like, okay, at what point are they going to turn this bike into, like, the bike you ride, or the bike you ride, or the bike I ride? And then at what point are we going to see those bikes in clubs?
I think that's going to be a slow burn, man. Because I mean, look what Harley came out with it, but then they stopped producing them.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. It's a good question.
There's still a respectable science there. You know,
Yeah,
whoever
there is.
thought we'd be driving electric cars.
The science of it, yes.
Right. You know,
But think about electric cars and some of these electric motors out there. What's one of the first things that they're starting to do? They're talking to sound technicians, and they're trying to get motor sounds
Yep.
of the old-fashioned muscle cars and
Right.
stuff, and then
Yep.
integrating into it because they need to hear that auditory. And like you had said, you know, is this on? You know,
right. Yeah.
you know. So how was the riding
Yeah.
experience aside from auditory?
Okay.
what I was
So,
Right?
so
Please ask away.
you turn it on, and you know, all of us are bikers here, right? And so for me personally, like, I feel it in the seat of my pants, right? Bike's on, it's vibrating, whatever, and I can feel it wind up through my body, and you know, because this thing has no gears or anything like that, and
So there was no shifting.
no shifting, no anything, none of that.
That's
and
weird.
I
That's
want,
weird.
and I
That
want to
would fuck me
say.
Right.
I want to say the brake was one of the pedal. Was with the brake or something like that was on the other side, or it was weird. It was like
Did they switch it up like
Yeah.
the?
Little goofy foot going on, man.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now tooling that thing, you know, taking some corners and stuff, whatever. It was great. It was fine, but the sitting position, not to be able to hear
Uncomfortable
anything,
positioning.
right? And I was like, yeah, you know what? I can't do it. I just can't. But again, I respect the science in it. I
How to
respect-
handle?
Oh, a little bit too nimble.
Yeah.
A little bit too.
See yourself getting in trouble.
You're
with
gonna
it.
push it. You're gonna push it to the
Yep.
limit.
Yep. So
You're gonna override it is what you're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
so with Tina Turner, the throttle is just too touchy.
Right.
Right. The Heritage, like, you got to crank, you got to wind on it a little bit, you know, whatever. And so, you know, like, you know, I'm tooling around, you know, you hit a bump, boom, you know, like, oh, all right, you're going around the corner, you hit a bump, oh, all right. This bike, I mean, the only thing that worried me was the throttle response. It was just too quick. I mean, it was just, if the seat hadn't been backed up a little bit, like when I first took off and lurched forward, like, it snapped me back in that seat. I'm like, oh, okay. But then you don't want to brake too hard because you're already leaning forward and you don't want to, you know.
Yeah.
And
Pull an endo.
I mean, it was fine. You know, it was balanced. Felt decent. But yeah, I was like, you know, I don't know if I could put that on my bike. You know, that you know. So yeah, yep.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you bring that up because I don't want to be a hypocrite because I guess I can pass judgment, but I really can't pass judgment on it until I ride one myself. The reason I say that is because I've had these conversations with other bikers, guys that find out, oh, you got a Victory, oh, you ride a Victory. Well, God, Victory sucks, and Victory this and Victory that, and my response is, have you ever ridden one?
Right.
You know, ride one, and then we'll talk. You know, you're entitled to your opinion, but until you ride one, and at least get an honest opinion about
Oh, exactly. You know, my motto's always been, I don't give a shit what the fuck you ride, as long as you got the code of the road. How many tires? It doesn't matter what brand motorcycle it is. How many tires does a motorcycle have? How many wheels?
it.
Two, right? Is the wind prejudiced? Nope.
No.
Wind don't give a shit what's on the side of that tank.
Yeah, exactly.
They all have two wheels, and the wind ain't prejudiced. As long as you got code of the road and brotherhood in your heart.
There you go. All right.
Well, that's a great way to segue into wrapping this session up. I'm just amazed at how quick, an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes can go when we, when we get into these and we start talking. But, one of the things we always ask our guests, and we put Vito on the spot a couple of times doing this.
It happens. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It had absolutely nothing to do with my color. So, yeah, it's a thing.
Why you got to bring that up? What?
It's a thing.
It's a. Oh my God! But we always have some bit of advice. Let's see, brother. Oh, it was knee deep and elbows tight. If I remember right, correct? Knee deep and elbows tight. Right. Gopher was on here for an episode. I think it was episode 8, and his parting words were, "Don't be a douchebag." And so, what's Longhorn? What's your message to the world? What words of wisdom do you have?
Oh shit.
See, I told you I was going to put you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Don't squat with your spurs on. Never pick up a fresh road apple on a hot day. I don't know.
That's good advice.
Those are two of what I got, I reckon, and I like to say that'll learn you.
What would you say to someone coming up into this and wanting to do it right?
Listen to your elders. Mm-hmm. Watch and listen. Your true elders. Mm-hmm. You listen more than you speak. Mm-hmm. Observe. Mm-hmm. And try to immortalize what is true. Mm-hmm. Spend time with your elders. Mm-hmm. Spend time with those that have paved the way, that has paved the way and the road for us to do what we've done. Yeah. We all started somewhere. Every single one of us. I don't care if you're 1%er, if you're RC, whatever you are. Everybody started somewhere.
RAMM, MC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody started somewhere, but there was also the veterans and the pioneers that paved that way for us to do what we're doing now. Mm. And the best way is to uphold them, is to follow them, keep the code, keep the heritage and the history alive and strong.
Yeah. I mean, when you want to take advice about losing your hand, you listen to the guy named Stumpy.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the man speaks from experience. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Longhorn,
we owe that to them.
It's been a pleasure having you on here.
Damn
today.
right.
I appreciate it.
I'd like you to come back in again if you could.
Yes, sir.
I am glad I had this opportunity to sit down and actually talk to you, because I've seen you.
Yeah, we ran into each other here and there.
Yeah. And you were probably like one of the coolest dressed bikers, right? Like I seeing you in your vest and your boots, and like, oh, okay, that's cool.
He's a dazzling.
Yeah, he is.
Really is. Right. You really are, man.
He looks cool. Right? Yeah.
Because Longhorn is himself. You don't give a. You're you,
right.
man.
You're right.
And you got to be you.
I know any other way, man.
All three of us here. You're you. I'm me. I mean,
shit. If I could do that, man, I've always admired the fucking dreads.
Oh,
but I don't look right on me, but fucking love it.
It scares the shit out of the white people.
Oh yeah.
No, be yourself. Be yourself. That's you should be nobody else but yourself.
Listen, I am going to share this story, and
is it a long one? Because I got to wrap shit up. Okay, good.
Right hand to God, this happened. I'm in the bathroom at Wiggy's, and I see this guy come in, and he's looking at my hair. He's like, "Oh man, your hair is cool, whatever." So I'm at the sink, I'm washing my hands, and he's at the sink, he's washing his hands. Right hand to God, this happened. All of a sudden, he comes over to me and smells my hair.
What the fuck?
This is at Wiggy's.
You want to catch an elbow? That's how you catch an elbow.
Now listen,
fucking A, man.
Me and 3 other guys pulled up on bikes, whatever.
Right.
And he's,
smells your hair.
He kind of
ballsy.
He kind of had like a
brass balls.
He kind of had like a Jersey Shore-ish kind of look to him, whatever. And so this is going to tie into like biker lifestyle stuff. And so him and I are there, and he was like, "Oh man, like that's pretty cool, whatever." Took it as a something as a teaching tool, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I wash my hair no different than yours, or whatever." And this, that,
that stigma, that dread sting,
exactly,
the stigma
exactly.
Of that,
and he's like, "Oh man,
that they don't get washed.
It's pretty cool,
yeah.
whatever." And so just like with us, people might see and associate stigma to us, whatever. And so, I'm glad with the things that you're doing, the things that your club is doing, that you're able to kind of like knock off that stigma a little bit. That, hey, we're just guys and we're serving our community, and we have brothers that come in, and we're building up this code of honor amongst us all, this thing of family and whatever. And anytime we can use these things as teaching tools to be able to kind of like, that's very important.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, was I a little weirded out that this guy smelt my hair? Yes.
Yeah.
But in that, it was an opportunity for me to be like, yeah, dude, don't, dread sting in this, nah. No, man, so yeah.
Well, right on. So, parting words.
Just be your best example.
Be your best example.
Yep, exactly.
Well, right on, guys.
And don't wet bump another brother's lady. How about that?
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole other show we can talk about. Some people learn hard lessons, and you watch Goodfellas, and they always talk about the phrase "forget about it."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, kind of my club, fuck around, find out.
Mm-hmm.
And people, you're trying to say you're badass? It's like, well, no, it's kind of like our forget about it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, he's got a hangover. Well, yeah, fuck around, find out. I mean.
Right.
Well, his old lady did this. Well, he did this. Fuck around, find out.
Right.
Or, you're being a dumbass. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
And so, fuck around and find out, man. It's a pretty real world out there. Well, guys, thank you very much. Vito, thank you very much for sitting in as a host.
Thank you.
We're going to do this again, all three of us.
Look forward
Maybe
to it.
real soon. Maybe I can talk you into doing a second show after this. I don't know. We'll see. See how time goes. But once again, thanks a lot in the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast for coming out. Listen, all 7 of you, maybe 8 viewers by now. I don't know. Big shout out to Hollywood over there at Insane Throttle Biker News. Thank you very much for your support, brother. We really appreciate you. You're a good man out there. Big shout out to Stables in Orfordville.
Definitely.
Ultimaze here in town.
Yes, sir.
And would it be a Full Throttle DJ services? You want to put a plug in there for yourself?
Yeah, sure. Appreciate it. My name's Longhorn, and I'm a DJ. Believe it or not, I enjoy it. Love music. My business is Full Throttle Entertainment.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for tuning in. Fuck off.